Alright, so here's the continuation of my video, and here comes probably the most useful piece of information I've shared with you guys so far. And what we got here is this. We are trying to do a 2-speed transmission, power glide from 1961, but when we look at the gear ratios, it says right here, oh, I apologize to that. The first gear ratio for the first gear is 182, and then the total multiplication of it is 6.4. However, that doesn't match our 1961 right here, where it says that the total torque multiplication for this one is 1356. See what I mean? One of these websites is not correct, and who would you trust, GM or non-GM? Anyway, the point of this video apparently not as useful, since we don't have the gear as high as 6.4 for the first gear, but just in case if any of you guys would need one, and if you want to set your gear ratio for the first gear as high as this for whatever reason, whatever project that you are doing, I'll still show you what needs to be done. Basically right here we have limitations for our maximum and minimum range of how we can adjust our gear right here, and it goes with a little explanations from the editor. It goes like that. Gears 1 through 6 use spots from 0 to 68. Differential uses spots from 100 to 148, meaning differential has 48 clicks back and forth of adjusting, and gears have 68 clicks of going left or right, you know, plus or minus on your gears. There are also in between from 69 to 99 additional gear ratios which you could use, but they're all set to 1 to 1, so they're not really useful. It's just like one gear ratio you could use because they're all the same. However, right here the creator mentions engines can be added for the actual gear ratios. So if he would have provided them anyway, instead of us asking him 15 years later, sorry the creator, but yeah, I really wish we had these actual gear ratios entries that you're talking about, but we're missing those. Anyway, we would have edited the 69 through 99 to represent something other than 1 to 1. Input your own numbers, whatever you want, on top of being able to edit any one of these. Let me just open up a paint file and quickly sketch it out. Basically here we have the line of adjustments going from 0 to 148. That's for the diff, and each one of those is a little click, pretty much click, 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 click. Each one on this 148 is a little click, plus minus. Anyway, they limit the first gear to be from 0 to 34, which limits it in size. We have unlocked it all the way from 0 to 68. 68. That is our maximum allowed normal transmission gear range right here. Then we have those weird numbers from 69 to 99, which nobody uses. 69 to 99, and they're all set as 1 to 1, so they're really not useful. They're just extra included by the game creators just for the future. So they were looking into the future thinking maybe we need more adjustments. They have included that space. Anyway, differential ratio right here ranges from 100 to 148. Now let's start the game and see what those 100 to 148 differential ratios look like. Doesn't matter which EXE we start. We started the stock one, so we're gonna have a 4-speed transmission in the garage. Do not be afraid. Right here, 4-speed. Now let's look at the diff. The lowest allowable diff is 2.8, 2.57. Now the highest diff ratio right here, 6.556. That's the highest one. That is the one representing 148. You see, no more clicking, we're maxed. 147, 46, 145, 44, 43, 40, and so on all the way to 100. That is how it's set up. Each click is a number. Now what we gotta do in our edit right here, you see our minimum where we start is 0, and it should be for all the gears, and our maximum, instead of being 68, we're gonna violate what the physics editor tells us, and we're gonna max it out in 148. We're gonna be able to go as high as the differential goes right here. Save the file, do your edit thing, 0.1. Alright, bear with me here, we're almost done. I had to restart my computer, but anyway, this is our previous diagram with our ranges. These are the transmission gear ratios. These are extra field for gear ratios included by the game creators, but they're all set to 1:1. So all of those are going to be 1:1. And this is differential ratio right here from 100 to 148. It's like each number is one click, as I explained earlier in the garage menu. You know, we got these clicks before. What we have done, we have freed the gears to go as high as any other gear, so your first gear could be adjusted as high and as low as any other gear, like fifth or fourth. So this is the gear ratios right here. However, like I mentioned earlier, once we set the range from 0 to 148, we are intruding into the differential ratio space. So now our garage edit altogether should look like a range of numbers all the way from 0 to 148. Now in game, I'm already in the garage, and as we can see, the differential has the highest ratio 6.5 and the lowest ratio 2.8. Now the changes that took place, take a look here. We're trying to adjust it higher than this, but we can't because that's where limitation ends. So for this ratios, this is actually at 0. Now as we start clicking, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's 40, and so on and so on. It's gonna end at 68 if you count the clicks. But because we expanded it right here, see, this is the lowest. Now the next click is gonna bring us to 69 through 99 range. See, and all of these gears are gonna be 1:1. I'm gonna have to click 30 times to go through the range and infiltrate into the differential range. So when you do this fix, you just keep clicking back until you hit the differential number right here, 285. This is at 100. Now look, 101 equal, you see, 102, 103, 104. So we are in the differential ratio range right here, 105, 106, and in theory it's supposed to unlock us all the way to the first gear being as high as 6.5. Those that know what I'm talking about gonna be like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Now look, and indeed it is possible. And as we're going up and up and up and up and up, we can go all the way as high as the differential went, the 6.55 ratio, and look at the first gear multiplication, 42.9 total final drive ratio factor with the two gears. This is the trick that I wanted to show you. It's not needed for our project, as I looked at the wrong number, I apologize for that, but here we are, 2-speed transmission. I'm gonna set the ranges for the transmission just like the power glide transmission is supposed to have, and you see I'm clicking back into the transmission ranges, and here we are. I think the multiplication on that was like 6 something. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you in the garage and the transmission topic for today. But I find it is pretty cool. I'll see you guys next time when we slap a 3 and a 4-speed transmission onto a more powerful engines, do some testings, but I had to share with you this first before we go any farther, and I'm just gonna stop right there not to make it too long.